Hello fellow mum makers, welcome to the first video in our braiding tutorial series. We hope to be adding videos weekly during prep season before the busy homecoming season begins. We decided to start with our double bubblegum braid for a couple of reasons. One, it is made actually using one of the easiest braids to learn, the small bubblegum braid. And also it was really one of our most popular braids on Pinterest and with our clients last year. So we wanted to start our braiding series with it. If you do not know how to make the small bubblegum braid, we will do that tutorial next, and we will link that down in the comments below. What we're going to do is I'm going to list all the supplies you'll need for this braid and give you a chance to pause, collect your supplies, and then we will start learning the double bubblegum braid. Now that you have your supplies, let's get started. What I have is two 36-inch regular, we call small bubblegum braids because they're made with the number 5 ribbon, which is the 7/8 inch length. These particular two, the color pattern is a little bit different, but they're both 8 acetate ribbon, 1 diamond dust, repeated 8 acetate, 1 diamond dust. What we're going to do is we're going to put these two together, but you have to sometimes play with it a little bit because you want your ribbon to have a place where you can fold. So what we have to do most of the time is I have to flip one around, and then you can put it together, and then you know you have it right because there's a place for a fold where our ribbon is going to slip into for each one. For this particular one, I kind of laid it out and I decided I'm going to put my imprint ribbon every 3 times because it keeps my diamond dust showing. I don't want to waste that since it's the more expensive ribbon. So once you have this lined up, you're just going to staple it together. The important thing is to keep it as much together as you can when stapling. And I'm just going to staple every 3 growing up where I know I'm going to put my ribbon. Where you feel like when you're stapling this that there's a huge gap here, it is more than likely that one of your ribbons was not exactly 7 inches when you went to fold it. We love using our smaller ribbon cutter for this because it cuts all of our ribbon exactly 7 inches and totally straight, which really makes making bubblegum braids much, much easier. Okay, now we are ready to weave in our imprint ribbon. Really quick, I like to always note that we always staple everything backwards so that the flat part of the staple is always going to be on the back part of either your braid or your HOCO loops or anything that you're doing. That makes sure that this part that could potentially catch on something, we always make sure that it is covered with either bling or ribbon or something like that. So we're just going to start down here where our staple is. We're going to take our 3-inch imprint ribbon. This particular one, because it's white, we're going to put another layer of white underneath it so that it stays that bright white and either the black or the red doesn't show through. And we're just going to weave it in. This covers up our staple, and then it really gives it that added look. For this one, certain imprints, if you'll notice, I always make sure certain imprints, the pattern matters, others it does not. For this one, I'm going to make sure it's all running this way. And then I'm just going to continue the process all the way up. Now that all of our imprint ribbon is in, we're gonna go ahead and secure it. I like to do all my imprint at once and then go back and staple. I've just found that it's a little bit easier. So we love our Bostic stapler for this because we can turn it upside down and this skinny part of it fits really easy underneath the folds. So we'll go underneath there and staple. And we'll just go all the way up. You could staple on top, but I like to staple underneath because that way it gives me more leeway to do whatever I want with my bling, even if I put a bling there. And I also just don't like putting bling on top of a staple if you don't have to. I feel like it's a little bit more secure. So we're just gonna go all the way up, then we're gonna flip it over, do this side, and then we'll get ready to bling. Everything's all stapled and secure, and now we're ready to add bling. I feel like this is one of those braids that bling really makes a difference. So what I decided to do on this one of my favorite ways to do this is just to add a large piece of bling in between kind of where your imprint ribbon is. And it also kind of allows you to secure it a little bit more. So I'm gonna take this as one of our favorite ones. It's two different blings that we have that we just layer together. And we will just add the bling. As I'm adding the bling, I still kind of try to push it together a little bit and secure the braid together a little bit more. It's not going anywhere because it's stapled, but I feel like that this just gives it a little bit more. The last thing I like to do to finish out this braid is just to take some bling and put it usually at the bottom of wherever the imprint ribbon is. This is actually my least favorite bling to work with because of all the strings. So I normally just keep pre-cut ones for this reason. And then we just add a little hot glue and attach our bling. It's not necessary, but for our higher end mums, we really like doing this. It gives it a really sharp, finished look. And of course, after I'm all done, I'll go back and pull all of the glue strings that tend to accumulate as you are making your braids and working with hot glue. There it is, our double bubblegum braid. We love layering this maybe underneath an intertwine or flower power braid because it's wide, but it allows you to lay either a HOCO loop or a braid on top of it. And we use this a lot in our higher end mums that have lots and lots of braids that we need to layer with. We also love that you can do various patterns. This particular one right here was a solid navy blue bubblegum against a solid Columbia blue bubblegum. And then we alternated and did every one all the way up with either this diamond imprint or a diamond dust, and then did the bling a little bit differently. And then last example we have is a senior silver and white. It's very similar to the one that we did in our tutorial, except you'll notice that the imprint is every other one instead of every third time. I also like to point out this is a great braid. If you're getting to the end of your roll of imprint ribbon, this braid will allow you to really use your imprint ribbon, that last little bit, get that wow factor without having to use yards and yards of ribbon at a time. So it is one of my go-to braids when I'm getting to the end of my imprint ribbon. Thanks for watching the first video in our braiding tutorial series. Shoot us a comment down below if there's another braid you would like us to do next. Happy creating!